Welcome everybody to another week of playing Extreme Warfare Revenge. If you're just joining us, we have been booking or taking over Impact Wrestling in this game. This game is a classic 2002 cult, text-based, I guess you could say, booking game. We're not the wrestlers, we're not playing the matches, we're booking the matches. Last time we made sure we got everything in order so that this week we could book our first episode of Impact Wrestling as we lead to our first pay-per-views. Let's get right into where we were last week. If you're just joining us, you will be able to chat with us. Let me just make sure we get that a little bit off. There we go. So you will be able to see, boom, there we go, to the far right of the screen. On the far right, you will see your comments where you will be able to let us know on Facebook what you think we should do next. If you're on Twitch, I should be able to see those comments as well, or in our chat. Same with YouTube. But as always, now Facebook will be the best way for your comments to be seen by everybody else and for us to see it for sure. That said, let's get this started. So, as you can see, we are on Thursday, May 6, 2021 for Impact Wrestling. One thing I did notice doing a little bit of housekeeping before we started today was that someone's not happy. So I'm going to go into the meeting and make sure we get all this taken care of before we book. So we should have done this last week, but I wasn't. One thing I wanted to know is there was an unhappy worker. As you can see here, you can see all worker conditions, but unhappy workers, these are people you need to book for them to stay happy. Their happiness goes down the less they're booked and how they are booked. So, Chris Statlander, who we just recently hired in the last episode, is at 37% morale. We need to get that up. So she will be wrestling tonight. We need to ensure that. So in our spreadsheet, what I'm going to do real quick, let's bring it up here. There we go. So our spreadsheet is up. As you can see here, what I want to do is Chris Statlander is right down here. We know, we got all these little weird things, colors that we have on here. What I want to do is make this yellow. So yellow signifies that they need to be booked. Now let me just find there we go, our fill color, and we make that a nice yellow. See, that's a caution. Yellow means caution, right? So here we go, we've got our caution. That's Chris Eller, going to get booked. The other thing I wanted to bring attention to is back in the meeting, if you go through each staff, they'll let you know things, like one of which is Kilo with a K needs to be pushed up. Bully Ray and Eddie Kingston both need to be debuted. Alex Shelley's current gimmick is not working. These will go away as we get more, as you see a lot have to debut. So we will get those dealt with as well. Now, the other one I wanted to check was medical staff. We didn't have enough doctors. We don't have enough medical staff. So we are going to go in. So a quick recap. We know our staff level right here. 75 skill or below is what we can get from our staff. So we can't get anyone hired that are between 75 and 100 ability. So we go into our other staff. These are people that are not working for us because we need to hire. We can minimize our search criteria. Positions, we change that to medical only because that's the only ones we need. And because we cannot get anyone over 75, that automatically gets dropped. We don't want to be paying that much, but that usually doesn't matter because staff costs are usually pretty good except for the rare exception. So let's see who we have. Now you can see right here we've got a 74. We need 3 people, so I'm going to pop this right up to his 74. So we're only going to see people with 74 or 75 skill. We've got 3. We need 3. Done. 1, 2, 3. Lower his contract. Boom. Done. Martha Dobson. 1, 2, 3. We got a signee. Got to save that money. Tara. 1, 2, 3. Nope. So just the 2. Usually this is the number right here. The 20. So if it's 21,000 or 23,000 they were asking for, whatever the first number is, usually is what you take off. Or if it's 100,000, you can take 10 off. You know, basics. So these are verbal contracts. You can end these staff contracts whenever you want if they're verbal. That's all they really wanted. Works out for us. We've got everyone set there. Let's just double check one more time. Scouting staff, don't need to go through that. It's all old people that they want us to hire, or right? Yeah, see, is 55. Anything that says is 47 or above, or any of these 46, 44, don't really need it. More hassle. Most of those people are actually just non-wrestlers anyways. So, that said, let's quickly, just to let you guys all know where we're at, we can see our feuds here. You can see that we have that updated here above my head. Bully Ray, Kenny Omega. We got Heath Rhino. We got James Storm Moose. Oh, I didn't. 73. James Storm and Moose. 73. So now that we have all those in, I can rank these. That's our top feud. We got number 2. We got number 3. There's number 4. We got 5. Oops. Let's do that. 6. Then we got 7 here. And our bottom feud is Ace Austin and Josh Alexander over the X Division Championship. So, we're ready to go. Now you guys will finally see how we book a TV show. Here we go. So, we know top. Usually what I like to do is our number 11 and number 1 are both the top feud. We open and we close. If we don't do that, it's usually in the first 3 we will get that. So, we're going to book our main event. It's not going to be a title match because we're not starting off fresh. The company already existed. We're just coming in. That's how we're playing this. So, what we have here, we've got Bully Ray and Kenny are the feud. We have Gallows and Anderson are also feuding. So Gallows and Anderson are feuding with, let's look down here, FinJuice. So what do we say? We have a main event, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson versus FinJuice for the tag team titles. We're going to have interference. Kenny Omega is going to cause the DQ. Bully Ray will come in for the save to debut Bully Ray, and we'll start off. That would be a great way to start it up. And that will give us 2 feuds, 1 segment, and then we can use other people. So what I'm going to do as well is, you'll see here on our top part, we have a little bit, this column here. I will put an X the minute I have used them, signifying that I don't need to use them again in that show to help know and keep track of who's been used, who needs to be used, so that, again, that morale issue isn't coming into a factor. And guys on verbal contracts or open contracts, you need to use them less because, let's face it, they're getting the money. Because they can work for other companies, their morale, all that. I don't know the actual programming issues with it, but that's the thing. So here we are. We're in the booking wizard. This is going to be a match because it's our main event. So we are going to make it that. There we go. So next, we are going to make it. There we go. 2-on-2. As you can see, you get many different options. 1 versus 1, 2 versus 2. We will end up using all these, including the special and handicap 5-on-5. Yes, there is a war games depending on your risk and your level. So you have to hit a certain level in the game for your promotion has to be at a certain level before you can have war games as an option. So there are little things that release matches. Your risk level, all those things play a factor. So now, 2-on-2, we are going to book this segment. So, tag team match. Participants. So, we know FinJuice is David Finlay and Juice Robinson. They're going to face Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. Titles on the line. Now, let's see if they actually will let us. Because usually they'll say, They let us. Very good. Thank you very much, Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson. So they're going to win by DQ through interference. So that shows you all the little things that you can actually do. So you can have cleanly count out, DQ, interference, botch interference, DQ through interference, dusty finish DQ, dusty finish DQ with run-in, dusty finish by cheating, and opponent miscommunication. Those are the ones available now. Based on all the little things you select, those options can change. So we said there that that's what's going to happen. Now, Aftermath, this is when Bully Ray is going to debut, and that's going to be the purpose of this segment. Run in for the save. Select purpose. As you can see, we have Continue Feud as an option, because the tag teams. But we have put over. Up at the top, there is debut Bully Ray. That's what we want. It helps put him up, gets him closer to Kenny, helps that feud get a little bit more over as well. Now what we will do, since we did that, where is it? That's number 5. So that would be right around here. We're going to put in a segment. We're going to put in a nice interview segment. We're going to have, I don't know actually if Callis is the manager. See, Callis doesn't have anyone. We're going to change that so Callis is the manager. So when you're in the booking screen, you can't get back to your main roster. So you can't make those changes. I could leave and cancel out all the booking we've already done. I'm not going to do that. We'll get it set up for the next time. But we do want to make sure that the heels are managed by Don Callis. Those 3, the elite, I should say. So here we go. So this time we are going to just do a regular old interview. We're going to have, do we even have them as a stable right now? Let's see. We do not. Okay. So you can have a stable do the interview together. It gets a lot of other people used. But for now, we'll just do what we had. Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows are going to cut a promo on Juice Robinson. And David Finlay. There we go. Now we'll just do that as, we can either make it as hype the upcoming match, like later tonight match, or we can do it as Continue Feud. Because we didn't get a select Continue Feud in the other one, we want to do it here just to give the Good Brothers a little bit of overness, make them a little bit happy that they're getting used. So with that said, we have now used Bully Ray, we have used Juice Robinson, and we've used David Finlay. Then we've got Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows, and Kenny Omega. We are going to change that so that we are going to get the belts onto the Good Brothers here again, because David and Juice are not signing those written contracts, and I don't like to have people in open contracts holding my belts. So our next feud is number 2, James Storm and Moose. I'm not going to make this a match, although I could make it Moose versus Tommy Dreamer and have Moose go over. I think actually that's what I'm going to do by cheating, and then have, or maybe, how about we actually do James Storm versus Tommy Dreamer? That actually might be a bit better. And Moose will attack after. So, we got James Storm. The reason why I do some of this is because I want to have some faces, just because if you can't have people get revenge or have certain things count towards the feud based on how you set it up. So I couldn't do a setup where Dreamer faces Moose, and then Moose cheats, and then Storm runs in. Because we know in real life we can book it so that Moose would cheat, start doing the beatdown, leading to the run-in. But you can't do that. The beatdown is the next step, which means you can't then on top of that book in this game. I know the future games, they did develop it so you could, but this is some of the fun and restrictions that you have in this game to kind of guide you in where you need to go. So, now there is no title on the line. These are both faces, so we're going to just have James Storm get the clean win. Or actually, you know what? Let's do it even better. Let's put Moose over. Draw. No contest through interference. Moose. Moose destroys everyone. Or we can just do a 2-on-1 on Moose. Let's see what happens when we do the 2-on-1 on Moose. See if Dreamer and Storm get together and chase off Moose, right? Let's see if that continues the feud. See, that's what I'm saying. You can't choose continue feud because of that. So what I'm going to do, because I couldn't do that, I am going to change that back to help put Moose over. So, Moose destroys everyone. And we're going to put Moose over. There we go. Done. So that's 3 more used. Where James Storm right there and Moose. Now, of course, I could do a promo if we wanted to do it, but I want to make sure we're getting everybody used right now. So, right here, I want to put in a women's match. It is going to be a tag team match. Match 2 versus 2. We gotta get these women used. Alright, so we're gonna do Thunder Rosa because we have a feud between Thunder Rosa and Killer Kelly. What we want here is Chris Statlander and now Killer Kelly. Who should we have as her tag team partner? We have Maki Ito. I think she would actually fit the best, so, and she's actually the lowest on the roster, so this is a great way. When they're that low, usually just using them will get them up in a bit more overness, which is nice. Even if it's just one, it would be really nice. So here, nothing there. Done. Then we got Thunder Rosa's going to get the win over Killer Kelly by DQ. A lot of dusty finishes. A lot of Russo booking right now. We'll get some clean ones as we start getting on, but because we have 8 feuds all starting up, you're going to have this happen. As you see them feud out, or where's the continue feud on this one? Oh, that's right. I'm not there yet. Choose for any steps ahead here. So Killer Kelly, they're going to get revenge. No, we'll just do a brawl to back because I don't like how that would be in real world. But there's the continue feud option. Finally, we get to see continue feud in a match. So that helps Chris get over. That helps Thunder Rosa get used. Helps we use the right one. There we go. Then we've got Killer Kelly and Makito. Excellent. Next, we want to do feud number 3, which is Rhino and Heath. This will be an angle with Violent by Design attacking Heath backstage. Angle. Now this shows you all the different types of angles we can do. We've got 1 versus 1 angles, 2 versus 2, ambush, authority, debut, diva, host, manager, other, romance, stable, turn, and video angles. We'll show you those as we get through them, as we need to use them. Right now, I want to use a stable angle. It's one option we can use because we're only feuding against one guy. So a stable will attack a singles backstage, Heath, because it is an Impact after all. So Violent by Design is going to attack Heath backstage. Done. So that uses all of Violent by Design by doing that. So Heath, Rhino. Where's the rest of Violent by Design? Diener. Joe Doring. Where's Eric Young? There's Eric Young, way at the top, of course. There we go. Perfect. Next, we have 4. So number 4 feud is ODB and Diana Perazo. I think we have room to do some other stuff here. So, let's do another tag team. Get everybody used, get people happy. Now that we're taking over, we've got to show them that we want to use everybody. So, who is going to be the partner of ODB? Let's use Jazz. Why not? So, ODB, Jazz versus Diana Perazo. And we got Kimberly. Susan will likely help them. If we can work that out. There we go. So Diana will get the win by interference from Susan. There we go. Interference. Now, we are going to make it a 3-on-2 on ODB and Jazz. Because I really don't... Or maybe we can make a run-in for the save. Jessica Havoc comes in for the save. Use as many as we can. Continue feud. Perfect. Because 2 of the 4 in the main match, and because the results were the 2 that are in the feud, it lets us do the continue feud. So those are the bits that you gotta watch for. So that used up 6 people, which is always a nice turn. So we got Jazz, Havoc, ODB. We've got Diana Perazo. We've got, where were the others? Kimberly and Susan. There we go. Perfect. We're moving along here. Once the booking's done, then you guys will get to see just exactly what we're doing. Just exactly how it looks. So here we go. So next, we just did that. So 5 now. We already did Good Brothers. There we go. So now we can move right to 6, which is Power and Power versus Fire and Flavor. So let's see what we can do. We can probably do a one-on-one and get this feud going pretty quickly. So we are going to have Rachel Ellering in a match. Rachel Ellering over versus Tasha Steels, because they're the 2 lowest, so I want to use them, help get them build up a bit. Rachel's going to get the win by the DQ from Kiara Hogan interfering. Then Jordan Graves will come in, make the save, run in for the save. There we go. Boom. Oh, helps if we put the purpose. Continue the feud. Done. There we go. That's another 4 used. We're getting the roster used up here. Wait, where is... There's Rachel. Then we've got Tasha and Kiara. Where's Kiara Hogan? There she is. I don't know why I couldn't see her there. Probably the lazy eyes. Okay, so now that that's done, we can move on to 7, which was Thunder Rose and Killer Kelly, which we've already done. So now we got 8. Ace Austin, Josh Alexander. So this is where we can do another angle. We'll do 1, maybe we'll do 2. Maybe we'll do an ambush angle with Madman and Ace. 2-on-1 backstage ambush is what we want. There we go. Or, actually, let's do a distraction and henchman attack. Oh, you need 2 henchmen. That's right. Ace doesn't have 2. He only has the 1. So we're going to do the 2-on-1. We're going to do Madman. We already got Ace selected. Josh Alexander. Done like dinner. Boom. Simple as that. So, Josh is used. Ace Austin and Madman Fulton are now used. There we go. So, looking at this, we still got some people to use, and we got 3 spots to put them all in. I like to use these as angles, like I said. So, Kenny Omega is going to get to come in. Kenny Omega arriving. That's usually under the other angles. They have limo arrival, because it's Kenny Omega. Boom! There we go. That's another spot done. So now we can get these. These are the guys you want to concentrate on because they're higher up. So we want a match right here. Let's see if we can do a 4-on-4 match. Just a regular old 4-on-4 tag, just to use people up. We're going to have Chris Sabin, Alex Shelly, oh, there we go. And then maybe Rich Swan and Willie Mack. That will leave us with, who do we got? We could do the Joe Henning, Brian Myers. We could do the old school people, Swinger. Let's put in AC Romero and Larry D. Larry D, AC Romero, so we at least have Triple XL in there. And then we can probably put Brian Myers and Joe Henning. Let's do that, yeah. That will debut Joe Henning as well. There we go. There it is. Joe Hendry and Joe Henning are going to get confusing. Select title none. because we got Brian Myers here, 57. Brian Myers will be the one that gets the win. And then we've got Chris Sabin taking the loss. Or actually, let's do Alex Shelly taking the loss, because he's going to go down anyways, because we got to change his gimmick, apparently. Cheating, done. As you can see, you don't get to do it after the fact with some matches. That's one of them. So, that used up 4 more. Who do we have left to use? So we got Sammy. No, that wasn't used. Joe, Brian, and then we got these 2 guys down here. So we could also do a 4-way, or we can just do an angle. Maybe we'll do something with Decay. Let's see what stable angles we can do. Angle. Stable angles. We have Decay, so we might as well. Bloodbath would work. Who would they bloodbath? Crazy Steve and Chris Bay would set up a match? Okay, let's do that. Use Chris Bay, see what happens. Decay. Chris Bay. It rhymes. Okay. There we go. We're all set. Let's now show you what happens when they give you the results. I will update it as we go, because they will give us some changes. So, as you can see, overall rating 87%, always nice. The higher the number, the better it is for the overall show rating. Now, we can see here, overall rating on that first match, the women was 49, crowd reaction 44. So overall rating is averaged basically around these two, depending on a couple other factors. Match quality depends on the wrestlers in the match. Crowd reaction depends on their overness. It's that simple. So the closer they are to being identical stats, and the higher those stats are for each wrestler, the higher that match quality goes. Like back in the day when the first game first came out, Kurt Angle versus a murderer who shall remain nameless. If you put those two together, it was an amazing match. It was always like a 100% match quality. Alright, so what's next? So as you can see, Crazy Steve and Chris Bay both gained overness from this segment. So Crazy Steve gained 1, so he now goes from 41 to 42. Chris Bay goes up to 25 with that. So that's always nice. Alex Shelly, as you can see, is losing overness because of his weak gimmick, so we do have to change that. But this one did get a 69 match quality, so that these 8 are actually better suited for each other than the previous match was. Josh Alexander's backstage in his locker room. In comes Madman Fulton, and he attacks. They begin brawling around the room. Ace Austin comes in too, and he joins in the attack on Alexander. The 2-on-1 attack leaves Josh Alexander down in his own locker room. Next, Tasha Steelz gained 1 point of overness from her match, putting her above Killer Kelly for now. Rachel Ellering also gained 1, putting her above Chris Statlander for now. Alright, so now Good Brothers got a 64% overall rating for that one. Match quality 69% for Odb and Jazz versus Diana and Kimber. That's always good. Nothing there for overness. No road agent notes on that one. Heath was backstage when he got attacked by Violent by Design. Moose is losing overness because of his weak gimmick, so we got to change his gimmick apparently. Okay. Now, here we go, as you can see. Bully Ray is losing overness because of his weak gimmick, so we got to change his gimmick as well. But good news is Juice Robinson gained 1 overness, puts him up to 59. David Finlay gained 2 to put him up to 49. There we go. The Impact World Tag Team titles have also gained in image. So if you do bad booking, it can hurt it. But the more that's defended with guys that are at its level or higher, the better. And that was it. That was our main event. We got an overall rating of 63%. Not bad, not great either, but it was our first show with getting guys going. Let's see what our notes are from our mail, our road agents. I'm going to clean out those X's now that we've done the show. Then, let's check. So AEW have fired Jade Cargill. They fired Alex Reynolds, The Butcher, Anthony Ogogo. Hikaru Shida has been fired. Penelope Ford, Peter Avalon, Serpentico, Anthony Bowens, Ricky Starks has been released. If I didn't have such a huge roster, I'd be picking some of these guys up. Brandon Cutler. Okay. Magnus. Alright, don't care about CML. What was that? Kaden Carter, Filipino Princess. Mansoor is gone. Guru Raj is gone. Boa. Indy Hartwell. Mark Coffey. Blake Christian. We bring Blake Christian back into Impact if we wanted. Joseph Connors. Well. Ginny, one of my personal favorites. I'm sorry, I'm pulling creative control and I'm hiring her. Those stats are wrong. So, contract negotiations. Heal. Written. 1, 2. Done. So we did have that one spot. Gonna put her in there. She was at 40. And now, of course, if we really wanted to, we could edit the stats. We're not going to do that yet. We're only going to do that when it comes absolutely necessary. Ginny is under a written contract, so that helps. There we go. Let's check the rest of this mail here. Rinku. So NXT UK got a .74. We got a .77. We beat NXT UK. David Finley and Juice Robinson work together as a team. Gail Kim is apparently our road agent, so it adds a lot. So their matches get helped because of that. Usually if you see that, it kind of put their overness over. So let's go, before I do anything, I want to go and check to see if their overness are. Right now we're seeing 59 and 49 after those updates that we just got. Let's see if that changed anything. No. So they are still there. Let's just double check David as well. Okay, so they're good. Caleb with a K, as I remember, we were told that he needs to be pushed up. So as you can see here, ultra position up, because he's a lower mid-carder. He can actually be a mid-carder. So let's move him up. Did it. Great. He's going to send us a message. Thanks for pushing me up the card. Thanks. Tommy Dreamer thinks he should be up the card, too. So that actually, let's get that done here. Tommy thinks he should be a main eventer. Let's move him to the main event then. There we go. Stream mail, there we go. Maki Ito. Maybe she got higher up than 30. No, she's still at 30, but ultra position up. There we go. Perfect. Now, Chris Statlander and Thunder Rosa work well together. Let's see how Chris Statlander's feeling now. Did we get her morale up a bit? We did. That moved up just a tiny bit. So she's up to 41 now. Let's see how that impacts whether she's still unhappy. See? So 40 is that blow. So I can take her off, but she's going to be someone we got to watch because it is going to go back down if we don't use her. So we do need to keep using her. Usually we only go down 1, so you can get away. I'll do 1. If you book her every other show, it's just going to keep her pretty much even. So if I book her for now for the rest of the month, probably would be better suited. So we've got some time. Let's move forward. Let's deal with those writing issues. Eddie Kingston is yet. So Bully Ray is the first gimmick we got to change. That will take effect on the next one. He's a bully, so that obviously explains why. So we're just going to go with old school face. It's a good old school, like a good go-to, especially for main eventers like him. Then they'll let us know whether that is a good change or not. Perfect. Now we do have, this might be the first chance we get. It's not even a cheat. It's a help. Let's bring it up here. Let's see. This is the Arsenic Editors. I apologize. That's going to come up there. So, let me get to my Arsenic Editor. Where are ya? There we go. EWR. So, Gimmick Generator. That's what it's called. These are part of the Arsenic Suites. Let's put it up on here so you can all see it. I'll close that now. So since you all can see it, this lets you put in all the information. So I'm going to quickly put this in a way that allows us to bring up our roster again. So who was the first one that we are bringing out? Let's see here. Okay, so Alex Shelly, I know we needed to change. So we're going to input all his information here. As you see, it's going to ask for all these little bits and all his overness. So Alex Shelly, I'm going to just put the name in for whatever reason. 37. He is American. He is a lightweight, as you can see here, up in those little stats. We've got him as a upper mid-carder, and he is a face. Overness is 67. We got brawling as 53, because all these things impact what gimmicks you can and cannot pull off. 82 technical, 81 charisma. With those stats, there shouldn't be a lot you can't. So to find these, what we need to do is go back and go to View Worker Attributes. He's got two, just High Spots and Superstar Look. Superstar Look is great when you're competing against other promotions and makes fans choose you over others. So the more you can have with Superstar Look, the better. His current gimmick is Highlight Reel. Apparently that's not good, maybe because of his age. Our risk level, I believe, let me just go back before we do anything. Our risk level is 73. So that also tells you what you can and cannot pull off. See, it does tell us that it is a bad gimmick, but we can do Old School Face, we can do Martial... Oh, pop that back up, you guys can't see. Excuse me. So we've got Old School Face, Martial Arts, Rasta, Man on a Mission, and Gay. This is the way the game was. It is from 2002, remember, so I'm going to put that to the side. You guys won't be able to see it, but now we're going to go back to Alex Shelly, and we're going to pick one of those 5. So we're not going to put Old School Face, because I just did that with Bully Ray. I don't want 2 guys. What's Chris Sabin's gimmick? Chris Sabin is cocky. I'm not even sure if that kind of works, but you know what? Let's do Man on a Mission for Alex Shelly. Change Man on a Mission. There we go. So they'll always send you a message if they don't like the idea. So now we go back to our writing staff. Not really working. Alex Shelly's. Shira's now. We got to do Shira next. Mahabali Shira, where are you, my friend? There you are. So we got to do this all again. We're going to go Shira, male, 30, other heavyweights. He is a mid-carder. He is a heel. We've got 44, 65, 14, 26, and 64. Now we got to check his attributes. Just the Superstar Look. No high spots for him. So everything else is the same. We're going to change that to Monster, because that's his current gimmick. And that's a bad gimmick, but we can do Staff Member, Prima Donna, Cowardly, Punk, or Comedy Character. I think we're going to go with Prima Donna for Shara. That probably would be a bit better than the other few. They will give you other options, because it's not just the 5 that will work, but I like to just go with those 5. So make the change there. Who's next? Meeting, writing staff. So the next time these guys show up, the gimmick will officially debut. So we have Moose, and that's going to be it. So Moose will be the last one we got to change. Moose. He is also working for A1. Moose, male, 36. He is American. America! Yeah! Upper mid-carder. Heel. Franchise player is his current gimmick. 62 over. 78 brawl. Speed is 49. Technical is 49. 72 charisma. Worker attributes, same as Shara. Oh, he also has menacing. So now, franchise player. Calculate. Machine, chic, loner, mountie, or sensor. I'm going with loner. I think that is the best option. If you guys have a better suggestion, let me know right now in the comments below. Otherwise, we are going to change it to loner. Alright, just checking. Give me a comment. If you guys want us to change it, now's the time. Come on. No? Once, twice. Loner it is. Making the change right now. There we go. Oh, he did not like that. Oh, Shira doesn't like that gimmick. Well. Tough patooties. It told us to use it. We're going to use it. Unless... Did I? Mahabali, Shira... No, those were the only ones, so I don't get it. Whatever. That is going to be it for him. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now, let's see if there's anything else that we need to attend to. That's our highest rating. So that's good. Don't need to worry about that because we've just taken care of that. Our scouting staff, nothing's changed there. Oh, everything's set. Now, I want to just check our finances real quick. You can always check it here, keep track. We actually lost money, but that happens. No pay-per-view revenue yet, no merchandise sales, so that will get things up. Plus, we're using a lot of open workers. Again, we want to use as little open workers as possible. So let's just go back, do that real quick, look at all our open workers, check out who we have in feuds, and try one more time to sign them. Here we go. Wrong one opened. That one opened. There we go. So, Tommy Dreamer. Contract. Written. 1, 2, 3. Make new contract offer. Make it 45. There we go. So, Tommy Dreamer's now signed. Sammy Callahan needs to be signed. Contract. Nope. Okay. Rich Swann. Can we sign Rich Swann? No. Joe Henning. Contract. Written. Go. Now the downside of written contracts is if you don't use them, you still got to pay them. So I'm trying not to go too far into the guys that we didn't just use. We did use Brian Myers, but I don't think he's going to agree. He likes his contract. Yep. Oh, Willie Mac, Willie Mac, Willie Mac. He is happy. Thunder Rosa. What about Maki Ito? Contract written. Boom. Maki Ito is signed now. And you can see her morale's at 90, so she won't have to be used in the next show. Kimberly. Contract. She's happy. She's working with all those other companies. Tasha Steele. Contract. Is happy. Killer Kelly, contract, happy. David Finley, he's not going to do squat for us. Right, yeah. Who else do we got? Kiara Hogan, contract, happy. Alright, well that's going to be it then for that. I think that will be it for this week's episode. We got 45 minutes in today. We will be back again next week, 4 o'clock on Wednesday for episode 4, where we will move forward into our next show. Let's see when our next pay-per-view is going to be. We're in May right now. It's May 15th. So we will do one more Impact, and we may even do the pay-per-view next month. One thing I wanted to do, or next week I should say, let's just double check that all our feuds and how that changed. 90, 70, 73, 62, so you can see that jumped way up. Then we got 44 here, we got 55, we got 48, so that actually went up as well. And we got 46 there. So everything else, only the 2 really changed, but now we're going to look at the stats real quick. So I want to update those. There we go. Let's see here. Nothing. So none of those actually applied because of the angles that we did. So those all still stay blank. Those will change on the next episode. This one is 1 and 1 because we got both in, so they both counted in that main event. So that's great because of the DQ. Still gave them. I have TJP there, not Ace Austin. That's probably why something is weird. What? Well, we're going to have to fix that. I don't like that. That's really bad. Really bad. So I might have to use the cheats for that. Because of how I screw that up. I may fix that in off air before next week and do all that. So let's see here. We got one more. Let's just check the stats. Nothing. 1 and nothing on that one. 1 and 0. We got this one here. 3 and 1. See, that's what happens when you do those singles matches for the tag team feuds and then have the partners come in. Each moment counts. And then we got one more. 1 and 0. Perfect. So, thank you guys very much for joining us. We will be back next week, like I said, at Wednesday, 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Just check out the Facebook page, like and follow it so that you can know when we go live next week. If you're watching us on YouTube or Twitch, you can follow, subscribe, whatever you're able to do. Give the video a like if you can. It really helps us out. Share it with all the people that you think that might enjoy it as well. In any groups that you're in, it's always much appreciated. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.